Hello and welcome to Apex Atlas. Today, we travel to Iceland, a solitary island in the North Atlantic where fire and ice exist in a delicate, eternal dance. Here, the air is the purest on Earth, the water is crystal clear, and the silence of the vast lava fields is so deep you can hear your own heartbeat. Over the next hour, we will explore 200 gentle facts about this mystical land. From the dancing colors of the northern lights to the ancient whispers of the sagas, let's find peace in the raw, majestic beauty of the north. The purest water, Icelandic tap water, is some of the cleanest in the world. It is naturally filtered through layers of volcanic lava rock for decades before it reaches the surface, requiring no chemical treatment at all. It is a cool, crisp gift from the earth itself. A land without forests. When the Vikings first arrived, Iceland was covered in birch trees, but today it is famous for its vast, open horizons. The Icelandic joke is, if you get lost in an Icelandic forest, just stand up. This openness creates a sense of infinite space and mental clarity. The midnight sun. During the height of summer, the sun never fully sets in Iceland. It dips toward the horizon, painting the sky in a permanent golden hour of pinks and oranges that lasts for hours, allowing the soul to linger in a state of soft, eternal twilight. The northern lights. In the winter, the Aurora Borealis dances across the sky. These solar particles hitting the atmosphere create silent, waving curtains of green and violet, a celestial lullaby that reminds us of the quiet energy of our universe. The power of geothermal heat. Almost the entire country is powered by the Earth's internal heat. Hot water is pumped directly from the ground to heat homes and even melt snow off the sidewalks in Reykjavik, a silent partnership between the people and the volcano. The silence of the moss. Vast fields of Iceland are covered in eldhraun lava, which is blanketed in a thick, spongy layer of woolly fringe moss. This moss can be up to 20 centimeters thick, acting as a natural sound absorber that makes the landscape feel as quiet as a cathedral. A country without mosquitoes. Iceland is one of the few places on Earth where there are no mosquitoes. The calm of a summer evening is never interrupted by their buzzing, allowing for total, undisturbed peace by the side of a lake or river. The Icelandic sagas. During the long, dark winters of the Middle Ages, Icelanders wrote down epic stories of heroes and gods. These sagas were read aloud in flickering candlelight, turning the cold nights into a time of shared imagination and quiet tradition. The gentle Icelandic horse. Brought over by the Vikings, these horses have been bred in isolation for 1,000 years. They are known for their calm temperament and their unique gait called the tolt, a movement so smooth that the rider remains almost perfectly still. The Blue Lagoon. This famous geothermal spa is filled with milky blue water rich in silica and sulfur. As you soak in the warmth while the cool Icelandic air hits your face, the mineral-rich water creates a sensory cocoon that melts away all tension. The Continental Divide. In Ingvellir National Park, you can walk between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates. They are slowly pulling apart by about 2 centimeters a year, a silent, tectonic shift that reminds us the Earth is a living, moving being. The puffins of the cliffs. Every spring, millions of Atlantic puffins nest on Iceland's sea cliffs. With their colorful beaks and quiet, social behavior, they add a sense of life and charm to the rugged, salt-sprayed rocks of the coast. The peace of the turf houses. For centuries, Icelanders lived in houses built into the earth with thick grass roofs. These homes provided incredible insulation against the wind, creating an interior world that was warm, dark, and perfectly silent. The belief in the Huldufólk. Many Icelanders respect the hidden people or elves who are said to live in large rocks. Roads have actually been diverted to avoid disturbing these elfin homes, a quiet nod to the mystery and magic of the natural world. The black sand of Reynisfjara. Instead of yellow sand, the beaches of the south coast are made of pitch-black basalt. The contrast between the white sea foam and the dark, velvet sand creates a monochrome landscape that is deeply grounding and meditative. The symphony of waterfalls. Iceland is home to over 10,000 waterfalls. Each has its own sound, from the thunderous roar of Skogafoss to the delicate, mist-like spray of Seljalandsfoss, creating a natural white noise that blankets the island. The Eldfell volcano flower. On the island of Heimaey, flowers began to bloom in the cooling lava just years after a massive eruption. This life after fire is a silent symbol of the resilience of nature and the beauty that follows destruction. The tradition of the Jólabókaflóð. On Christmas Eve, it is a national tradition to give and receive books and spend the night reading by the fire. This Christmas book flood turns the darkest night of the year into a celebration of quiet thought and storytelling. The Arctic fox. As Iceland's only native land mammal, the Arctic fox is a master of camouflage. In winter, its fur turns pure white, allowing it to move like a ghost through the snow, a silent guardian of the high tundras. The spirit of Petter Ridast. This is the national motto of Iceland. It means it will all work out in the end. It is a philosophy of calm resilience, a quiet understanding that even in the face of harsh weather or difficult times, the sun will eventually return. The breathing earth. Iceland is one of the few places on Earth where a mid-ocean ridge rises above sea level. This means when you stand in the Reykjanes Peninsula, you're witnessing the Earth's crust literally pulling apart, creating new land in a slow, rhythmic process that takes millions of years. The crystal caves. Inside the Vatnajökull glacier, ice caves form every winter as meltwater freezes. The ice is so compressed that it absorbs all colors of the light spectrum except blue, creating a world of deep, translucent sapphire that feels like being inside a frozen ocean. The eruption of Laki. In 1783, a massive volcanic fissure opened, releasing a fog that traveled across the world. Today, the Laki craters are covered in soft, silver-green moss, turning a site of ancient power into a landscape of profound, hushed serenity. The Diamond Beach. Near the Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon, chunks of ice wash up on a pitch-black volcanic shore. These ice diamonds glitter against the dark sand as they slowly melt, a fleeting and beautiful reminder of the cycle of water and light. The Hekla legend. Mount Hekla was once thought to be the gateway to the underworld. Because it is often shrouded in thick, low-hanging clouds, it maintains an air of quiet mystery, standing as a silent sentinel over the southern plains. The singing ice. Glaciers are not static, they move and groan as the weight of the ice shifts. This low-frequency sound, often called the voice of the glacier, is a haunting, natural music that can only be heard in the absolute stillness of the highlands. The basalt columns of Reynisfjara. These geometric pillars look hand-carved, but they are actually formed by the slow cooling of volcanic lava. They stack against the cliffs like a giant pipe organ, creating a natural cathedral of stone by the roaring sea. The warmth of the river. In the Reykjadalur Valley, a hot spring flows into a cold river. The two mix to create a perfectly warm thermal river where you can float in the middle of a green valley, surrounded by rising steam and the sound of distant sheep. The ash of Eyjafjallajökull. The 2010 eruption reminded the world of Iceland's power. Today, The area is peaceful once more, but the fine grey ash has enriched the soil, leading to vibrant green pastures that contrast sharply with the dark volcanic peaks. The lagoon of floating ice, Jökulsárlón, is a deep lake filled with icebergs that have broken off from a receding glacier tongue. They float silently toward the ocean in shades of white, electric blue, and volcanic black, carrying thousands of years of history in their frozen cores. The sleeping giants, over 30 active volcanic systems, lie beneath Iceland's surface. Most of the time, they are sleeping, but the heat they generate beneath the crust provides the steam for the country's many hot springs and bubbling mud pools. The Jökulsárlón, this glacier tongue, is easily accessible, allowing you to see the layers of black volcanic ash trapped within the white ice. It is a vertical timeline of the Earth's history, frozen in a slow-motion crawl toward the valley. The boiling mud of Namaskar. In the north, the Earth is so thin that mud pools boil and sulfurous steam rises from the ground in orange and yellow streaks. The landscape looks like the surface of another planet, accompanied by the rhythmic, bubbling glup of the mud. The shield volcanoes. Iceland is home to shield volcanoes, which have broad, gentle slopes created by the flow of highly fluid lava. They look like a Viking shield laid flat on the ground, creating a soft, rolling horizon that is easy on the eyes. The glacial flower. The water flowing from glacier is often a milky, opaque turquoise. This is caused by glacial flower, rock ground into a fine powder by the moving ice. When this water meets the dark ocean, it creates swirling, marble-like patterns in the surf. The heat of the greenhouse. In towns like Ferrageri, the geothermal heat is used to grow bananas and tropical flowers inside greenhouses. It is a quiet miracle of the north, tending to tropical leaves while the snow falls silently just outside the glass. The hidden waterfall cave. Glufrabúi is a waterfall hidden inside a narrow canyon. To see it, you must walk through a crack in the rock. Inside, the sound of the falling water is amplified, creating a private, misty sanctuary of sound and stone. The vastness of Vatnajökull. This is the largest glacier in Europe by volume. It is so massive that it has its own weather system, and beneath its thick ice cap lie several active volcanoes, a true personification of fire and ice existing in a cold, silent embrace. The basalt cathedral of Svartifoss. This waterfall drops over a wall of dark, hanging basalt columns. The name means black fall, and the contrast of the white water against the dark, geometric stone makes it one of the most peaceful and photogenic spots in the country. The tectonic piece. While the plates are pulling apart, the movement is so slow it is imperceptible to the human eye. This reminds us that the greatest changes on our planet often happen in total silence, over vast stretches of time that we are only beginning to understand. The Huldufólk, hidden people in Iceland. It is widely respected that elven beings live in large rocks and mounds. They are said to be just like humans, but invisible and more beautiful, living in a parallel, much quieter world that mirrors our own. The elfin roadways. The Icelandic Road and Coastal Administration sometimes hires elf specialists to ensure construction doesn't disturb elven homes. In the town of Kopaviga, a road famously narrows to protect a large elf rock named Grásstein. The trolls turn to stone. Folklore says that trolls can only move at night. If they are caught by the sun, they turn instantly to stone. The massive rock spires at Reynisdranga are said to be the remains of two trolls who were trying to pull a ship to shore but were surprised by the dawn. The Christmas cat, Jólakötturinn. Unlike the cozy cats of the south, this giant mythical feline is said to roam the snowy countryside during Christmas. It doesn't look for mice, but rather for those who haven't received new clothes to wear for the holiday, encouraging the tradition of handmade wool gifts. The 13 Yule lads. Instead of one Santa, Iceland has 13 Yule lads who arrive one by one in the days leading up to Christmas. Each has a specific, quiet mischief, like Stekjastor, who has stiff legs and tries to drink milk from the sheep in the silent barn. The Gryla legend, the mother of the Yule lads, Gryla, is a giantess who lives in the mountains. While her stories were once used to frighten children, today she represents the raw, untamed power of the Icelandic wilderness and the deep winter. The silence of the sealfolk. Selkies. Icelandic legends tell of selkies, creatures that are seals in the water but can shed their skins to become human on land. It is said they gather on the beaches on Midsummer's Eve to dance in the soft, quiet light of the midnight sun. The ghost of the White Lady. In the Snæfellsnes Peninsula, many locals tell stories of the White Lady who wanders the lava fields. These stories aren't meant to be scary. They are a way for the community to remember the history and the people who lived on the land long ago. The power of the Seamundr the Wise. A famous figure in Icelandic folklore, Seamundr was a priest who supposedly outsmarted the devil in several quiet contests of wit, often involving the speed of travel across the icy fjords. The rocks of the hidden church. In the Aspergi Canyon, a massive hoof-print-shaped valley, there are rock formations that locals call the Elven Cathedral. Standing there, the echoes and the silence create a feeling of being in a very ancient, sacred space. The mystery of the sea troe. On the remote island of Grimsey, stories persist of the sea troe, a gentle underwater giant that helps fishermen find their way through the thick Atlantic fog by humming a low, vibrating tone. The New Year's move. It is believed that on New Year's Eve, the hidden people move house. Icelanders often leave candles burning in their windows to help light the way for the elves as they travel across the snowy landscape in the dark. The Lagarfljot Wyrm. In the deep, cold waters of Lake Lagarfljot, a giant serpent is said to reside. Unlike the Loch Ness Monster, the Wyrm is seen as a sign of the season's changes, moving slowly through the glacial silt of the lake bed. The ghost of the library. Many old buildings in Reykjavik, including the National Library, are rumored to have resident shadows. These are seen as quiet companions to the students and readers, guarding the books and the silence of the halls. The magic of the runes. Before the Latin alphabet, Icelanders used runes carved into wood and stone. Each symbol was believed to carry a specific galda or charm, one for protection, one for a calm sea, and one to help a traveler find their way home. The Trolls of Dimmuborgi. These dark castles are a vast area of unusually shaped lava fields. It is said to be the place where Earth meets the underworld, and the intricate stone arches are believed to be the ruins of a troll city that crumbled in the light. The Midsummer Dreams. It is a tradition that if you sit at a crossroads on Midsummer Night, the hidden people will come and offer you gifts. The challenge is to sit in total silence and decline the gifts until the sun rises, proving your respect for the natural world. The protection of the rowan tree. In Icelandic folklore, the rowan tree is sacred. It was believed that a rowan tree growing in a graveyard would protect the spirits, its bright red berries serving as tiny lanterns in the long winter darkness. The sound of the lure. This traditional horn was made from wood or bone and used to communicate across the fjords. The sound is long and mournful, designed to carry through the wind and fog to tell neighbors that all is quiet and well. The philosophy of the invisible. Perhaps the most relaxing part of Icelandic folklore is the idea that we are never truly alone in nature. By believing in the hidden people, Icelanders maintain a quiet, humble respect for the rocks, the water, and the wind, seeing them as living neighbors rather than just resources. The Arctic fox's winter coat. The Arctic fox is the only native land mammal in Iceland. In winter, its fur turns a snowy, brilliant white, and it becomes so thick that the fox can sleep comfortably in temperatures as low as $-50 degrees C, $-58 degree F, curled into a silent, furry ball. The reindeer of the East. Reindeer were originally brought from Norway in the 1700s. Today, they roam wild only in the remote East fjords. Watching a herd move silently through a snowy valley at twilight is one of the most peaceful sights in the highlands. The puffins burrow. Unlike many birds that build nests on branches, puffins dig burrows in the soft turf of sea cliffs. They spend their nights tucked away in these earthy tunnels, sheltered from the Atlantic winds in a dark, quiet sanctuary. The singing humpback whales. In the cold waters of Skjálfandi Bay, humpback whales are often seen breaching the surface. Beneath the waves, they sing complex songs that can travel for miles through the deep, silent blue of the ocean. The harbor seals of Vatness. At the Vatness Peninsula, colonies of harbor seals rest on the black rocks. They are known for their curiosity. They often lie perfectly still, watching human visitors with large, dark eyes, reflecting a sense of mutual, quiet wonder. The Great Skua's Watch. This large, powerful seabird is known as the pirate of the clouds. While they are fierce protectors of their nests, they spend hours gliding silently on the wind currents over the black sand plains of the south. The Icelandic sheep. These sheep have been isolated for over 1,000 years. Their wool is unique, consisting of 2 layers, the tog, which is water repellent, and the L, which is soft and insulating. They roam free all summer, becoming white dots on distant, silent green mountains. The raven's intelligence. Ravens are highly respected in Iceland and appear in many myths. They are incredibly vocal but also capable of deep silence, often seen perched on lava rocks, observing the world with a stoic, ancient wisdom. The eider duck's down. The eider duck provides some of the warmest natural insulation in the world. The down is collected by hand from nests after the ducks have left, a gentle and sustainable harvest that has been a quiet tradition for centuries. The Arctic tern's journey. This small bird has the longest migration of any animal, flying from the Arctic to the Antarctic and back every year. When they arrive in Iceland, their high-pitched cries are the first sign that the long, quiet winter is finally over. The orcas of Snæfellsnes. In the winter months, pods of orcas, killer whales, follow the herring into the fjords. Despite their name, they move with a sleek, silent elegance, their tall black fins cutting through the glassy water like shadows. The harlequin duck. Found in the fast-flowing glacial rivers, these beautifully patterned ducks are masters of the water. They bob effortlessly in the white water rapids, finding a sense of calm in the midst of the rushing, cold currents. The ptarmigan's camouflage. The ptarmigan is a master of disguise. In summer, its feathers are brown to match the heath. In winter, it turns pure white. They stay very still to avoid detection, blending perfectly into the silent, snowy landscape. The basking shark. Occasionally, these gentle giants are seen in the deeper fjords. As filter feeders, they swim slowly with their mouths wide open, moving through the water with a prehistoric, unhurried pace. The gerfalcon. The national bird of Iceland is the largest of all falcons. It is a solitary hunter of the highlands, known for its incredible speed and its ability to disappear into the grey mists of the mountains in total silence. The minke whale's breath. Minke whales are frequent visitors to the coastal waters. The sound of a whale blowing at the surface, a sudden, misty exhale, is often the only sound heard in the middle of a calm, foggy fjord. The long-tailed duck. These ducks have a distinct, musical call that sounds like yodeling. In the quiet of a coastal morning, their voices carry across the water, adding a hauntingly beautiful melody to the Atlantic breeze. The sheepdog's duty. The Icelandic sheepdog is the country's only native dog breed. They were bred to herd sheep and find lost lambs in the fog. They are known for being incredibly alert but also very calm and loyal companions in the lonely farmsteads. The purple sandpiper. These hardy little birds stay in Iceland all year round, even in the harshest winters. They forage along the frozen shorelines, tiny symbols of resilience in a world of ice and salt. The silence of the deep. The waters surrounding Iceland are teeming with life, from giant squid to ancient Greenland sharks that can live for 400 years. Deep beneath the waves, life moves in a slow, dark, and absolute silence that has remained unchanged for millennia. The language of the Vikings. Modern Icelanders can still read the ancient sagas written 800 years ago. The language has been kept so pure that it has changed very little. It is like a living bridge to the medieval past, spoken in a soft, rhythmic cadence. The culture of the hot tub. The local swimming pool, the Sundlaug, is the true town square of Iceland. People gather in the naturally heated outdoor tubs to sit in the steam and discuss the news of the day, finding social connection in the warmth of the water. The purity of the name. Icelanders don't have traditional surnames. They use a patronymic system. If a man named Eric has a son named Leif, the boy's name is Leif Eriksson. This keeps the focus on the immediate family and a direct, quiet connection to one's parents. The love for strong coffee. Iceland is one of the highest consumers of coffee in the world. In the long, dark winter months, the scent of a fresh upper helling, brewed coffee, is the ultimate signal of comfort and hospitality in every Icelandic home. The naming committee. To protect the language, there is a committee that decides which new names are allowed. They ensure that names fit Icelandic grammar, a quiet effort to maintain the island's unique cultural identity for future generations. The tradition of the lopapeysa. The iconic Icelandic wool sweater is hand-knitted with a distinct circular pattern around the neck. Because the wool is unstripped of its natural oils, it is water-resistant and warm, a wearable hug against the North Atlantic wind. The silence of the library. Reykjavik was named a UNESCO City of Literature. Per capita, Iceland publishes more books than any other country. There is a deep, national respect for the silence required for a good story. The art of gluggaver. This is a beautiful Icelandic word that translates to window weather. It describes weather that is beautiful to look at through the window, like falling snow or a storm, while you stay cozy and warm inside with a hot drink. The no-tip culture. In Iceland, tipping is not expected. This creates a quiet, straightforward interaction in cafes and restaurants, where the price you see is simply the price you pay, reflecting a culture of honesty and equality. The Reykjavik cat culture. If you walk through the streets of the capital, you will see many well-cared-for cats roaming freely. They are the unofficial guardians of the city, often found napping in shop windows or sitting quietly on colorful corrugated iron roofs. The hand-painted signs. Many small towns still use hand-painted wooden signs for their shops and guest houses. This slow design gives the villages a human, personal touch that contrasts with the vast, wild nature surrounding them. The legend of the Yule cat's fashion, because of the folklore that the Christmas cat eats those without new clothes, Icelanders have a long tradition of knitting socks or sweaters for their loved ones in the quiet weeks leading up to December. The solitude of the farmsteads. Driving through the countryside, you will see lone white houses with red roofs sitting in the middle of vast green fields. These farms represent the Icelandic spirit of self-reliance and the ability to find peace in total solitude. The communal hot potter. Even in the smallest villages, the hot pot is where the barriers of status disappear. Whether you are a doctor or a fisherman, everyone is equal in the steam of the geothermal water. The modern rune art. While the ancient runes are no longer used for writing, they are still seen in modern Icelandic jewelry and art. Each symbol, like the Ægishjálmur, helm of awe, is a silent prayer for protection or inner strength. The rhythm of the runta. In small towns, young people often participate in the runta, a slow drive in a circle around the town center. It is a social ritual of seeing and being seen, performed with a slow, hypnotic repetition. The taste of skyr. This thick, creamy dairy product has been a staple since the Viking Age. It is technically a cheese but eaten like yogurt, providing a simple, healthy taste of the Icelandic earth that hasn't changed in 10 centuries. The summer cottages. Most Icelandic families have access to a small wooden cottage in the wilderness. They go there to get away from it all, spending their days hiking in silence and their nights watching the midnight sun. The creative spirit. 1 in 10 Icelanders will publish a book in their lifetime. There is a quiet, national encouragement to be a creator, leading to a country filled with musicians, poets, and artists who find inspiration in the island solitude. The spirit of kyr. This is the Icelandic word for tranquility or stillness. It isn't just the absence of noise, but a positive state of being. A quiet, internal peace that Icelanders seek when they look out over the sea or sit in a hot spring. The solar wind's kiss. The northern lights are created when charged particles from the sun collide with Earth's magnetic field. This energy is channeled toward the poles, where it enters the atmosphere and releases a silent burst of light, a phenomenon known as the Aurora Borealis. The color of oxygen. The most common color of the aurora is a pale, ghostly green. This specific hue is produced when solar particles collide with oxygen molecules about 60 to 150 miles above the Earth's surface. The rare violet veil. When the solar wind reaches lower altitudes, about 60 miles up, it hits nitrogen molecules. This creates rare and beautiful fringes of purple, pink, and violet along the bottom edges of the light curtains. A silent dance. Despite their name, the Northern Lights, the aurora is completely silent to the human ear. However, some researchers have recorded very low-frequency radio waves during intense displays, which some describe as a faint, ethereal crackling. The K-index of calm. Astronomers use the K-index to measure the intensity of geomagnetic activity. A low K-index means a quiet, steady sky, while a high index predicts a vibrant, moving display that can fill the entire horizon. The magnetic poles pull. Iceland sits directly under the auroral oval. This is a ring-shaped region around the Earth's magnetic pole where the lights are most frequently visible, making the island a natural front-row seat to the cosmos. The winter solstice silence. On the shortest day of the year, December 21st, some parts of Iceland experience nearly 20 hours of darkness. This civil twilight creates a deep, indigo blue sky that is perfect for stargazing and reflection. The moon's halo. In the cold, crisp Icelandic air, ice crystals often suspend in the atmosphere. When the moon is full, these crystals can refract the light to create a perfect, glowing 22-degree moon halo, a silent ring of light in the dark. The Milky Way's clarity. Because Iceland has so little light pollution outside of Reykjavik, the Milky Way appears as a thick, clouded river of stars. In the highlands, the Great Rift, the dark dust clouds within our galaxy, is visible to the naked eye. The solar cycle, the intensity of the northern lights follows an 11-year solar cycle. During a solar maximum, the sun is more active, leading to more frequent and powerful coronal mass ejections that set the Icelandic sky ablaze with color. The North Star, Polaris. Due to Iceland's high latitude, the North Star appears almost directly overhead. It remains fixed in the sky while all other constellations appear to rotate slowly around it, a steady, silent anchor for the night traveler. The legend of the fox's tail. Some Arctic legends say the northern lights are caused by a giant fox running through the mountains, its tail brushing against the peaks and sending sparks up into the black sky. The aurora's reflection. When the lights appear over a still fjord or a glacial lagoon like Jökulsárlón, the colors reflect perfectly in the water. This creates a double aurora, surrounding the viewer in a symmetrical world of glowing green. The temperature of the light. While the aurora looks like cold fire, the thermosphere where it occurs is actually very hot. However, because the air is so thin, there isn't enough heat to feel. It remains a purely visual, chillingly beautiful experience. The dark skies of Vik. The village of Vik is one of the best places for night photography. The pitch-black basalt sea stacks of Reynisdrangar provide a dramatic silhouette against the waving curtains of the aurora. The morning star. Because of the clear air, the planet Venus often appears so bright in the Icelandic dawn that it casts a faint shadow on the snow, a silent second moon guiding the early riser. The Pleiades in the north. Known as the Seven Sisters, this star cluster is incredibly bright in the Icelandic winter. It appears as a tiny, shimmering dipper of blue-white stars, a delicate jewel in the dark velvet of the sky. The solar storm's reach. During particularly strong solar storms, the northern lights can be so bright that they cast a green glow on the landscape, illuminating the white snow and making the world look like a scene from a dream. The wait for the light. Hunting the aurora requires patience. Often, you must sit in the total silence of the car or a small hut for hours, watching the clouds. This waiting becomes a form of meditation, a quiet anticipation of the universe's arrival. The ethereal connection. Standing under a powerful aurora display often makes people feel small, yet connected to the larger workings of the solar system. It is a silent reminder that we are passengers on a planet traveling through a vast, energetic, and beautiful cosmos. The rhyolite rainbow. In Landmannalaugar, the mountains are made of rhyolite rock. This mineral-rich stone creates hillsides of yellow, pink, blue, and deep red, looking like a giant's watercolor palette under the soft Arctic light. The Laugarvega Trail. This is Iceland's most famous hiking path. It takes travelers through a landscape of steaming vents, neon green moss, and obsidian fields, offering a deep, multi-day silence that resets the human spirit. The Obsidian Fields. Obsidian is volcanic glass, formed when lava cools very rapidly. In the highlands, you can find entire fields of this jet-black, shiny stone, which glitters like dark diamonds when the sun finally breaks through the clouds. The Queen of Icelandic Mountains. Mount Herabray is a tuya, a flat-topped volcano formed by an eruption beneath a thick glacier. It stands alone in the desert of the interior, a massive, silent throne of rock and ice. The crater of Askja, deep in the central highlands, lies the massive Askja caldera. Inside it is a smaller crater called Viti, which is filled with opaque, sapphire blue geothermal water where you can bathe in total, isolated silence. The desert of black sand, the interior is home to Sprengisanda, a vast plateau of black volcanic ash. It is a desert where nothing grows, creating a minimalist landscape that forces the mind to find beauty in the simplest lines of the horizon. The braided rivers, from above, the highland rivers look like intricate, silver braids. As glacial meltwater flows over the flat plains, it splits into hundreds of small channels, creating a silent, shifting pattern of water and sand. The Porsmork Valley, named after the god Thor, this valley is hidden between three glaciers. The surrounding ice caps protect the valley from the harshest winds, allowing a rare forest of stunted birch trees to grow in a quiet, emerald sanctuary. The Curlingafjol Range, this mountain range is a steaming geothermal wonderland. Bright orange clay hills are contrasted by permanent white snow patches and rising pillars of white steam, creating a landscape that feels like it's still being forged. The Arctic tundra, the highlands are a true tundra. Because the growing season is so short, the plants, like the tiny Arctic willow, grow flat against the ground to stay warm, creating a miniature forest that is only an inch high. The Hekla ash layers, if you look at the side of a highland canyon, you can see distinct layers of white and black ash. These are the signatures of different Hekla eruptions throughout history, a silent record of the island's fiery heartbeat. The F-roads, the highlands are only accessible via F-roads, which are rugged tracks that require 4x4 vehicles. These roads are closed for 9 months of the year, ensuring that the interior remains a pristine, undisturbed wilderness for most of the time. The silent craters of Laki, in 1783, a 25-kilometer fissure opened here. Today, the 130 craters are perfectly aligned and covered in a thick carpet of silver moss, creating a hauntingly beautiful avenue of extinct volcanic power. The Highland Oasis, despite the harshness, there are small oases where spring water bubbles up. Around these springs, the grass is a neon, almost glowing green, providing a soft resting place for the rare traveler or the wandering reindeer. The Hveravellir Hot Springs, located in the middle of the highland desert, this geothermal area features the Smoking Mound, a white cinder cone that has been puffing out steam for centuries in the absolute stillness of the plains. The blue of the highland sky, because there is no dust or pollution in the interior, the sky can turn a deep, ink-like indigo. Against the white of the glacier, this color contrast is so sharp it can feel like looking at a high-definition painting. The echoes of the canyon, Sigildugul Jufa, is known as the Valley of Tears. It is a canyon where dozens of small waterfalls leak out of the mossy cliff walls, creating a delicate, layered sound of falling water that fills the gorge. The solitude of the highland hut. Throughout the interior, small mountain huts offer shelter. There is a specific peace found in sitting inside a wooden hut while a North Atlantic storm rages outside, feeling safe and small in the face of nature. The volcanic bombs. You can often find large, rounded rocks in the highlands that were literally sneezed out of a volcano in a liquid state. They cooled as they flew through the air, landing as aerodynamic, silent monuments to the eruption. The spirit of the highlands. To the Icelandic people, the highlands represent the soul of the country. It is a place of no permanent human habitation, where the earth belongs only to the wind, the stone, and the shifting light. The pioneer moss, Racemytrium lanuginosum, or woolly fringe moss, is often the first life to appear on a new lava field. It doesn't have roots. Instead, it absorbs moisture from the mist and rain, acting as a soft, silver-green blanket that prepares the rock for future plants. The Arctic poppy, this delicate flower, is a master of solar tracking. Its cup-shaped petals act like a satellite dish, following the sun across the sky to concentrate heat in the center of the flower, keeping its seeds warm in the cool Arctic air. The mountain avens, known as holtasoli, this is the national flower of Iceland. Its white petals and yellow center look like tiny suns. In ancient times, its leaves were used as a substitute for tobacco and tea, earned through a quiet harvest on the rocky plateaus. The resilience of sea thrift. You will often see pink clusters of sea thrift growing on the edge of salt-sprayed cliffs. They thrive in impossible places, rooting themselves into cracks in the basalt where no other life can take hold. The dwarf birch, Iceland's forests, are often made of these trees, which grow more sideways than upwards. By staying low to the ground, they avoid the harshest winter winds, creating a miniature canopy that turns a brilliant gold in the autumn. The moss campion. This plant grows in dense, rounded cushions that look like green velvet pillows decorated with tiny pink stars. The cushion shape traps warm air inside, protecting the delicate stems from the freezing night temperatures. The scent of wild thyme, blowberg or Arctic thyme, grows on dry, gravelly slopes. If you walk across a field of it, the air fills with a sweet, herbal fragrance. Icelanders have used it for centuries to make a soothing tea that tastes of the mountains. The lupine sea. In June, vast areas of Iceland turn a deep, electric purple. The Nootka lupine was introduced to help prevent soil erosion. While controversial, its endless waves of color provide a visual symphony that defines the Icelandic summer. The stone crop storage. These succulents grow in the most arid lava fields. Their thick, waxy leaves store water like tiny canteens, allowing them to remain plump and green even during a dry spell in the high desert. The meadowsweet of the valleys. In the damp, sheltered meadows, you'll find the creamy white plumes of meadowsweet. Its scent is heavy and almond-like, a soft perfume that drifts through the air during the long, humid days of July. The cotton grass of the marshes. In the wetlands, clophifer, cotton grass, grows in fluffy, white tufts. When the wind blows, thousands of these white puffs dance in unison, looking like a field of fallen clouds. The blueberries of autumn. In August, the heathlands are filled with wild blueberries and crowberries. Picking them is a quiet, meditative ritual for Icelandic families, a slow food harvest where the only sound is the wind in the grass. The Angelica's strength. Growing up to 2 meters tall, Angelica is one of the most imposing plants in Iceland. It was a vital medicinal plant in the Viking Age, believed to protect against illness and bring strength to the spirit. The lady's mantle. After a rain, you can see perfect, silver droplets of water sitting in the center of the scalloped leaves of the lady's mantle. The leaves are water repellent, making the rain look like a collection of scattered mercury. The alpine bartzia. This dark purple, almost black flower is semi-parasitic, taking some of its nutrients from the roots of nearby grasses. It is a quiet survivor, finding a way to flourish in the nutrient-poor soil of the tundra. The lichen of the highlands. Lichens are not plants, but a partnership between fungi and algae. They grow so slowly, sometimes only a few millimeters a century, that a single patch on a rock might be older than the cathedral in Reykjavik. The butterwort's trap. This small, purple-flowered plant is carnivorous. Its leaves are covered in sticky glue to catch tiny insects, a clever and quiet way to find nitrogen in a land where the soil provides very little. The crowberry's winter gift. Crowberries often stay on the bush through the first snows. They provide a vital source of energy for birds and foxes during the transition into the deep winter, a dark purple berry of resilience. The grass of the sods. The native grasses were so thick and strong that they were used as the primary building material for turf houses. The grass didn't just cover the roof, it was the roof, a living, breathing part of the home. The spirit of the flora. Icelandic plants don't shout, they whisper. They show us that to survive in a harsh world, one must be small, flexible, and deeply rooted. There is a profound peace in observing a single flower blooming in a desert of black ash. The loneliest lighthouse. The Rhythmic lighthouse is perched on top of a narrow, needle-like rock pillar miles from the coast. Accessible only by helicopter, it stands in total isolation, a silent guardian watching over the crashing waves of the Atlantic. The ancient Greenland shark. In the cold, dark depths around Iceland lives the Greenland shark. These creatures move with extreme slowness and can live for over 400 years, meaning there are sharks swimming today that were alive when the first telescopes were invented. The breath of the humpback. When a humpback whale exhales, the mist can rise 3 meters into the air. In a quiet fjord, the sound of this blow is surprisingly loud, a deep, hollow sigh that echoes off the surrounding mountain walls. The ghostly Garua. The village of Garua features 2 lighthouses standing side by side. One is old and squat, the other tall and sleek. At night, their alternating beams create a rhythmic crosshatch of light over the dark, churning water. The salty air of the Westfjords. The Westfjords are the most remote part of the coast. Here, the mountains drop vertically into the sea, creating ribbons of white surf against the dark rock that look like lace from a distance. The migration of the capelin. Every winter, billions of small, silver fish called capelin arrive. Their arrival is a silent signal to the whales and seabirds that a feast has begun, bringing a sudden burst of life to the winter waters. The driftwood treasures. Because Iceland has few trees, driftwood from Siberia was historically a vital resource. Carried thousands of miles by ocean currents, these silvered logs were used to build homes and boats, a gift from a distant land. The sea stacks of Londranger. These 2 massive rock pillars are all that remains of an ancient crater. They look like a pair of dark castles rising from the ocean, and folklore says they are the favorite perches of the hidden people who watch the sea. The echo of the foghorn. In the thick Atlantic fog, the low, mournful moan of a foghorn can be heard for miles. It is a sound that defines the coastal experience, a warning that is also strangely comforting in its steady repetition. The kelp forests. Beneath the surface, giant kelp forests sway in the currents. These amber-colored underwater jungles provide a quiet nursery for young fish and a hiding place for curious seals. The pink sands of Rauasander. Most Icelandic beaches are black, but Rauasander in the Westfjords is famous for its shimmering red and gold sand. At low tide, the beach stretches for miles, creating a vast, mirror-like surface reflecting the sky. The Arctic Ocean's edge. The northernmost point of mainland Iceland, Ránhafnatangi, is just a few kilometers south of the Arctic Circle. Standing there, the wind feels like it has come directly from the North Pole, carrying a pure, icy silence. The dance of the gannets. Northern gannets are masters of the air. They dive into the ocean from heights of 30 meters, hitting the water like living arrows. From the shore, you see only a silent splash and the white glint of their wings. The sea glass beaches. In some old fishing villages, the tides have smoothed bits of broken glass into rounded, frosted gems. These sea diamonds in shades of green, brown, and blue are scattered among the pebbles like tiny treasures. The midnight fishing. In the summer, fishermen often work through the night under the light of the midnight sun. The sea is often at its calmest then, a flat, glowing sheet of liquid gold that makes the boat feel as though it is floating in the sky. The wrecks of the south. The south coast has no natural harbors for hundreds of miles. The skeletal remains of old steel ships can still be found partially buried in the black sand, silent monuments to the power of the Atlantic storms. The whistle of the wind. On the cliffs, the wind often whistles through small holes in the volcanic rock. This creates a natural flute effect, a haunting melody that changes pitch with the strength of the gale. The tide of the Bryafja. This bay is home to nearly 3,000 small islands. As the tide goes out, it reveals a hidden world of rock pools and seaweed, a quiet landscape that changes completely twice a day. The red lighthouses. Many of Iceland's smaller lighthouses are painted a vibrant, cheery orange-red. This color is chosen to be the most visible against the gray sea and white snow, a small beacon of human warmth in the wilderness. The spirit of the sea. Ija in Old Norse. Ija was the personification of the sea. Even today, there is a quiet respect for the ocean's dual nature. It is both the provider of life through fishing and a vast, powerful force that demands total humility. The wisdom of the Havamal. The Havamal is an ancient collection of Viking proverbs. One of its most peaceful lessons is, "A man's own hearth is best, though it be but small, a man is a master at home." It reminds us that peace begins at our own doorstep. The power of the book flood. Icelanders have a beautiful saying, "Blinda a bóklaus more," blind is the man without a book. It reflects a national belief that reading is the lantern that allows us to see the world clearly, even in the dark. The strength of Etta Redast. As we mentioned before, this phrase is the heartbeat of Iceland. It is the ultimate relaxing philosophy, the quiet confidence that no matter how hard the wind blows, things will eventually fall into place. The value of silence. In Icelandic culture, silence between friends is not awkward, it is a sign of comfort. Being able to sit with someone in the quiet of the room is considered a mark of a deep and steady friendship. The lesson of the storm. A common Icelandic thought is that you cannot change the wind, but you can adjust your sails. It is a reminder to stop fighting the things we cannot control and instead find peace in our own movements. The spirit of Dugnor. This word describes a quiet, persevering diligence. It isn't about working until you are exhausted, but about the steady, calm rhythm of doing a job well, like the slow carving of a canyon by a river. The roots of democracy. At Ingvella, the open-air parliament was held for centuries starting in 930 AD. The leaders spoke from the Law Rock, using the natural acoustics of the stone cliffs to carry their voices, proving that nature is the best hall for justice. The art of the Hringvega. The ring road, Route 1, circles the entire island. Traveling, it is a metaphor for life, a continuous circle where every ending is just a new beginning, and the most beautiful views are often found in the day tours. The wisdom of the seasons. Icelanders don't fight the winter, they embrace it as a time for inivera, being inside. They view the darkness as a gift, a time to rest, to craft, and to let the mind wander inward. The meaning of Heima. The word for home is Heima, but it also means world. To an Icelander, Being at home and being in the world are the same thing. We are always exactly where we are supposed to be. The calm of the Skerry. A Skerry is a small, rocky island. They stand firm while the North Atlantic crashes against them. In folklore, they represent the human spirit, immovable and peaceful despite the storms of life. The gift of hospitality. Because the landscape was once so dangerous to travel, the tradition of offering a warm drink to any traveler became sacred. It is the quiet understanding that we are all travelers in need of a little warmth. The balance of the sun and moon. In the high north, the sun and moon often share the sky. This celestial balance is a visual reminder that light and dark, joy and sorrow, are all necessary parts of a whole life. The lesson of the lava. Lava takes a long time to cool, but when it does, it becomes the foundation for new life. Our own fiery moments eventually cool into the solid ground of our character. The echo of the sagas. The sagas teach that long-lived are the words of a good man. They suggest that our quiet acts of kindness are the only things that truly survive the passing of time. The beauty of the Blamoa. This is the blue haze that settles over the mountains at twilight. It is a reminder that there is beauty in the in-between times, the moments when the day hasn't quite ended and the night hasn't quite begun. The philosophy of the well. Every farm once had its own sacred well. Icelanders believed that the clarity of the water reflected the clarity of the mind. To keep the well clean was to keep the soul pure. The solitude of the shepherd. The traditional shepherd's walk was a time of absolute solitude in the mountains. It was believed that this time alone with the sheep and the clouds was essential for a man to find his own voice. The permanence of the glacier. Seeing a glacier that has stood for thousands of years puts our modern worries into perspective. In the presence of such ancient ice, our problems seem small, and our capacity for peace seems larger. The final breath of the north. We end our journey with the word Freya, the Icelandic word for peace. It sounds like the wind moving through the grass, a soft, ending note to a long and beautiful journey through the land of fire and ice. And so, our journey through the fire and ice comes to a close. We have walked the black sands, watched the dancing lights, and felt the ancient pulse of the earth. I hope these 200 facts have brought you a sense of KYRR, that deep, Icelandic tranquility. If this journey helped you find a moment of rest, please like the video and let me know in the comments which part of Iceland spoke to your soul. To join us for our next peaceful exploration, don't forget to subscribe. There are many more quiet corners of the world waiting for us to find them. For now, wrap yourself in the warmth of your own Lopapeza, let your thoughts settle like the winter snow, and remember, ethereal dust, it will all work out. Thank you for watching. Stay peaceful and sleep well.